Hey, style friend, it's so good to see you today. Today, I wanted to share with you three style don'ts. And let me know in the comments below if these are things that you see everywhere as well. And I'll apologize up front because once you start to see them, you can't unsee them. So, number one, leaving the thread belt loops on dresses and tops. I don't see it so much now because it's winter here in the Northern Hemisphere and people aren't wearing as many dresses. But oh my goodness, all summer long and all spring long, you see it. Those little thread loops that go on the side of dresses, and they're there to help hold the dress, the belt to the dress when it's being sold. That's the only reason they're there. They're not meant to stay there once you buy the dress. And so what do? You clip them as close to the seam as possible. And are you afraid of losing the belt? Well, no, you just kind of loop it over the hanger, the bottom of the hanger, or if you need to, use a clothespin and clothespin it to the shoulder of the dress where the hanger comes, and that way you don't lose it. But yeah, those loops on the side, let them go. Huge style don't. Number two, this one I see, oh my goodness, I see it both on men and women, but you start seeing it definitely anytime you see suit coats, weddings and funerals in particular. Actually, I saw three of these at church on Sunday. Not judging, just seeing, right? Jacket vent stitching. It's supposed to be clipped and open. You see this on suit coats, you see this on winter coats, you see it on any kind of jacket, raincoats, etc. In the back, here, I'm going to draw you a little picture. So let's see here. So in the back of the coat, so here's the back of the coat, right? And there's the vent on the back of the coat. Well, you will often see stitching that looks like that on the back of the vent. It's like it's a big cross. That stitching is meant to be unstitched and opened. You also see it on cuffs. When you have a jacket cuff that's actually a real button cuff, you'll sometimes see that stitching, that big cross stitching. I'll make a larger version of it. It's usually kind of vertical, and they're really large stitches. That stitching is meant to be unstitched and pulled out. I wish they'd do it in like a different color on the jacket to make it more obvious that it's supposed to be removed, but you see it all the time. I see it on men, I see it on women. That stitching is merely there to help the jacket or coat or whatever keep its shape during shipping. So it's after manufacturing, during shipping, and in the store, in the hanger. But once you buy it, remove that stitching. The third one is another stitching issue that I see regularly, and this I see more often on men. On the sleeve. It's the brand logo tag on the sleeve of a suit coat. And the reason you know it's not meant to be stitched, I'm going to show you again here. So the tag is usually long and skinny. It's on the sleeve of the suit coat, usually above the buttons, somewhere between the cuff and the elbow. And the reason you know it's not supposed to be there is that it's stitched on with relatively few stitches. And so it'll gap, like if you stick your finger up underneath between the jacket and the tag, it'll gap. If they meant for that logo and brand tag to stay on the jacket, it would be stitched all the way around and stitched down firmly. It's not. Those 4 stitches at the corners are meant to be removed. That tag is meant to be removed. I see it, especially during wedding season, and on young men, teens to like their 30s. So remove that tag from the jacket. That's a huge style don't. It's not meant to be there. And kind of the female equivalent of that I see frequently is tags on scarves. So when I'm talking about scarves here, I'm talking about like silky scarves. Like, oh my good, I don't have a silky scarf on my rack. How about that? There's almost always a silky scarf on my rack. When you buy a silk scarf or a polyester scarf, a soft silky scarf, frequently they will have a tag on them, sometimes 2, one with the washing or cleaning or dry cleaning information, and another with the brand on it. And if that tag, and I'm going to show you again here, it's usually a long skinny tag, longer than skinnier, and if it's just stitched with a few stitches, It's meant to be removed, and you just clip those stitches. Easiest way is with a seam ripper or a very small sharp scissor. Same for that brand logo tag on the sleeve. You need a super sharp, very pointed scissor to be able to get under that stitching. Sometimes for women's scarves, particularly, a seam ripper is going to be the best, but you have to be super careful not to damage the stitching on the scarf. So if here's the scarf, right, there's the scarf, and you see there's little stitching along here on that rolled hem on your scarf. You don't want to clip those diagonal little stitches there. You don't want to clip those little diagonal stitches on the edge of the scarf. Sorry for the multimedia presentation there, but it was the best way I could do to describe it to you. So, but yeah, those are 3/4 huge style don'ts. And like I said, once you start seeing them, you can't stop unseeing them. So hashtag sorry not sorry if you didn't know about them and now you're seeing them everywhere. But yeah, keep your eye open because you will see them. Yeah. There you go. So let me know in the comments below if you've noticed them, if you do them, if now you're like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't do that anymore. Let me know, no judgment. They're just things that we're often just not taught, right? And that's part of what I do. I teach my clients that. So yeah, thank you for spending some time with me today. If you learned something new today, or you learned something you're not going to be able to unsee, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, do all the things. You know how it works. Yeah, thank you for spending some time with me today because your time is precious. Any of it you spend with me is a gift. Stay safe and sound, sane and stylish, and I'll see you again next week. Bye. Oop. Yes, I want to stop recording.